Yeah, we should start off with that. All right, so what's your name?
Neville Adams.
And what do you teach at Parkdale High School?
I teach English 12, IB, and student government.
Okay. And you said your topic was what you do, like why you do what you do.
Yes.
Okay, so why do you do what you do?
Um, I guess it comes from me being raised where I was raised. I was born in D.C., raised in D.C., and I was always through school an exceptional student. And because at the time it was post-segregation, and there was a lot with young men, little boys who didn't do well. It's pretty much the same as if you look at it now, how the disparity between females, women, and men that do well, especially academically in the school system. And I would be the boy, because I was the only boy who were doing a whole lot of things that would be called upon for everything. So I was the student government president, I was the homecoming king, I was all over the place. And when I went to junior high school, it was the same thing. But, and I was always in the gifted and talented program. And when I went to junior high school, the gifted and talented program became smaller. It was segregated. So we only had one classroom, and out of a building like 500 kids. And so when I was in that classroom, because we, I don't know, looked different, because we all looked like a bunch of little kids, and people didn't understand why we were segregated like that, they used to pick on a lot of the students. And I would see like friends of mine who would get picked on, and I was always one for justice. I don't know where that comes from. I guess it's probably my mother, because my mother used to be an advocate and activist and all this stuff. And I saw boys who were in our class who were turned into thugs just in a matter of 2 years, in 6th and 7th grade. I saw young girls who were bullied and end up doing a lot of things that they wouldn't definitely be doing. Girls end up turning into what people would call a slut or something like that. And a lot of them came into the same way, came into the system, to the school, the same as I did. But I had a large family, so I didn't get a lot of people messing with me. But that stuck with me, and it's still with me. That's why I'm talking about it. Through everything I did, any place that I've worked, I've always stood up for people. I've always been that person who didn't have a problem showing my voice. I know that everyone can't do that, but I mean, I've taken a lot of risks. I've taken hits. I've been fired off of numerous jobs for speaking out and things like that. And what I told myself when I was getting my degree, my undergrad degree, I told myself that whatever job that I get, I will make sure that I will never have to be silenced again. So that's why when I went into teaching, I've been teaching for 20 years and I haven't been silent. And I know that I'm a force, and that's where I am now.
So you said that this was post-segregation. So was your junior high school, was that a majority African American school?
Yes, majority. I think we had, no, totally. It was totally, yeah. Elementary and junior high.
So do you think, like, so were kids picked on because of their intelligence in your gifted and talented program? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
So do you think something like this would happen at a majority white school, or like in a private school setting? Do you think this would happen, or is it just in the African American community?
I think it would happen in a different way. Yeah, of course, when you talk about intelligence or showing or really, I guess, living outside what people would consider the norm, not because they created it that way, but because it was created that way, I think that you would have it, it would be more, I don't think it would have been, I don't think we would have been picked on in that respect. I think we would have been picked on more so, of course, for race, but I think we would have been more demeaned in terms of people challenging us more. Like you, I can't believe that you can function stuff like that.
So basically, what are you trying to say? Like in that time, or at that time, it was a lot harder being a talented and gifted African American, young African American. And does this still like preside to today?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it was definitely during that time. It was definitely it was hard because the fact that you were picked up on for the people that you were representing. Because throughout everything, you always knew that you had to represent. My mother always told me, and even in times where teaching, that I've been teaching and I've, you know, thought that, oh, you know, I need to make more money and oh my God, you know, I'm doing all of this stuff, but I'm not being paid for it. And my mother would always say, well, somebody has to do it. You have to do it. So it always, you know, somebody has to help them. And you always had this idea of helping. But I still see it today, and it incenses me because I'm standing behind this podium or on this stage, and I don't see too many people like black males. I see young black males walking around and falling into this stereotype that people have, and I mean, it's it's pretty much after all of these years that you still have the same type of problem.
Like, how do you feel this is created? Like, how do you feel we can break away from this so-called stereotype of an African American male?
People have to. That's a good question. People have to. I think young people right now have to get away from social conventions and acting as if because I have a mother at home who might be doing crack or a father who's in jail, and they have to go beyond that because that's you have no choice with that. That's just what happens to you, and unfortunately, you have to be strong and you have to look towards the good things that are in your life. I mean, you have people all around you and who are doing things, who are lifting out their hands to help you up, but you can't disregard them and then just say, oh, well, this is as far as I can go, and then keep that mindset. Plus, I mean, there's things like policies, like in terms of the school system. School systems need to go out and reach out and actually recruit, which is what they do for other people. They'll go to Pennsylvania and go get a bunch of teachers from up there, or they'll go to other countries and bring in people who don't have the same culture as the kids over here, but they won't push for black males who are in colleges and universities to come to the school system. They won't offer them money. They won't try to get them in things that what they should be doing, because there are a lot of people out there who are in colleges and in universities and graduating every year who could be in here, who could make a difference.
So basically, you're trying to say that, like, as a whole, as a community, we need more positive African American role models that can come back and assist the youth to at least give them some type of motivation. Is that what, like, you're trying to say?
Oh yeah. Because I mean, if you don't see positive in front of you, then it's hard for you to act that way. I know, I mean, because I'm post segregation, and when I started school, all of the teachers, the administrators, everyone that was in and out of the building were all black. So I saw this, I saw doctors who were all black, so it was a thing of I always had the idea that I'm going to college from elementary school because all of these people around me were showing it. So it wasn't like I didn't see that many. But one thing about it is that it was still majority women. And that didn't affect me, I think, as much as a lot of other people, because I had both parents in the house. And I had both parents who were college graduates and, helped me with my homework and stuff like that. But most of the people in my neighborhood didn't. And that's why a lot of them used to, come to our house all the time.
Okay, thank you. I think we have to wrap up.
All right.
Thank you.